Hi there, I'm Sarah. Welcome back to the Nook. For today's workout of the week, we're going to do a yoga flow that involves a block. If you don't have a yoga block, no problem. Grab a small pillow or a small box, something that you can squeeze together throughout our practice today. Let's get started. We'll start down in child's pose. You can just put these to the side for now. We're not going to need them yet. Knees as wide as your mat, or just wider than hip distance if you're not on a mat. Press your hips towards your heels. Fold your upper body over. The goal is for your forehead to rest on something, so you can stack your hands. You can place it on the mat if that works for your body today. And just start to breathe. In through the nose, out through the nose, connecting with that ujjayi breath right from the start. This deep ocean-like breathing where we constrict the throat on the exhale. So if there was someone practicing next to you, they could hear it. Reach your arms out in front a little further. Find some length through your spine. Press your hips towards your heels. And continue to breathe. On your next inhale, we'll come up to all fours, tabletop position, and enter into some cat-cows. Inhale brings your gaze up, tail goes up. Exhale, tuck your chin, tuck your tail, squeeze everything towards the midline of your body, and then reverse it when you need to inhale. Getting ready for the change, move your hands out a little bit further in front and find this modified plank pose, and then send your hips to the right, to the back, and to the left. So making a huge hip circle, going in the same direction. And then once you get back to that modified plank, reverse it. Hips go to the left, back, to the right, and through. Continuing to connect with your breath and being aware of your space. And then once you're back to that midsection, take it back to your first downward facing dog, the upside down letter V with your body. You can pedal out your feet here, especially if this is your first downward facing dog of the day. Get situated, maybe shift your hips side to side. And then as you move into stillness, legs don't need to be straight. At this point, your heels don't need to touch the earth. Press back through all 10 fingers to take some pressure out of your wrists. We'll take a big inhale here, and then exhale out the mouth. Inhale, gaze towards your hands. Tippy toe it up. Feet are going to be wide. We're going to find ragdoll here first. I'm going to have a generous knee bend. Relax through my head. Maybe it feels good to grab for opposite elbows and add a little sway side to side, or just let those hands hang heavy towards the earth. Starting to find some space through your lower back. And then heel toe your feet together, big toes touch, heels apart. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll up one vertebrae at a time. Your head's the last to come up. Shoulders come up, back, and down. Find your mountain pose. Palms face forward, gaze is straight ahead. And then we'll flow through a sun. Inhale up, reach, exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Plant your hands, step it back, hop it back. We're going to take it through our first vinyasa. I'm going to do the modified version to start. Dropping my knees, lowering all the way down into my mat. Inhale, inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. And then pressing back to downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, feet goes where your gaze is. Inhale, half. Squeezing those shoulder blades. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse the swan dive this time to stand and reach. Maybe add a little back bend. And then you're right back down. We're going to go through that one more time for our sun salutation A. Inhale, half. Exhale, plant your hands. This time I'll do a full chaturanga. Keep my elbows close to my rib cage. I just go to 90. Flip those feet, upward facing dog. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Breathe here. Before we come to the top of your space, you're going to bring that prop or bring that block with you. Then we'll come to the top of your space to find our first chair pose. Feet this time are going to be about hip distance. You're going to stand it up and put your block in between your thighs. So they'll be above the knees. I'll show you from the front what mine looks like. Then we're going to sit into chair. So squeezing everything towards the midline. Sink your hips down. When you feel balanced, you're leaning back onto your heels. Maybe even your toes can lift. Tuck your tail slightly and then reach up with your arms. I'm going to wiggle back to the front, but you stay right where you are. So it's half of my space. Can you sink a little bit lower? Think of that lightning bolt pose. And then exhale, grab the block, shift your weight into your right leg. Left leg steps back for revolved crescent. So I'm coming here and twisting my left elbow on the outside of my knee. I'll modify it first. Pressing through the block, and it can be narrow, it can be wide. If you're using a pillow, you probably only have one option of where you can squeeze it. But the goal is to find that press, find that openness through your chest, through the upper part of your back. And then of course you can always have that back leg lifted. Shifting all that weight into your right foot. We're coming up for a crescent. I'm going to use the widest part of my block to press at the top. And I'm going to try not to wrap my fingers around it. I'm going to use the strength and the power of my palms to press into this block. Then I'm going to come up for a balance. I'm going to do a knee drive. I'm going to lean forward, get a knee drive up. That block might connect, it might not. Step it back, crescent. We're going to repeat those. So it's knee drive up, step, crescent. Now you can keep this pace. If you want a little more cardio, pick up the speed. So as soon as it comes back, it's a knee drive. Really using that core to squeeze everything in so it feels like a crunch at the top. Arms are straight and pressing into your block for 3, for 2, and 1. Open it up to warrior 2. You'll see the back part of my back now pressing into those palms. I'll show you what it looks like. You're pressing in here through that wide part of your palm for your warrior 2. You can see my shoulder blades squeezing together like they have a pencil between them that I cannot drop. And then I'm going to simply turn this into a revolved triangle. So the block or the prop will be in my left hand and press it down inside the right foot. I'm going to need to adjust my feet a little bit to find this triangle and then revolve it. Now you don't need to use a block here. I just think it's a little bit easier to bring the floor to you. It feels a little bit better and have a little more space in my hips. But notice what your arms are doing. Ground down through that left hand, reach up through your right. And then keeping that left hand on the ground, you might need to move it out a little bit in front. We're going to go into a revolved half moon. So I'm going to adjust. My left leg lifts off the mat, and it can be slight. It doesn't need to be huge. You'll find the balance challenge in your right leg immediately. And then I add the twist. Can you open your chest towards the side of where you're practicing today? Just for 3, for 2, leave the prop where it is, and 1, taking it through a vinyasa. Your upward facing dog or cobra, and your downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, those hands and feet, the same space. Once again, feet about hip distance. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. Place the block, squeeze it together. Once again, it's above the knee, so everything is parallel. And then sink into your chair as low as you can. Second time here, maybe a little bit lower. Gaze can be up towards those fingertips or straight ahead. Just try not to look down. Sink lower for 3, coming out in 2, lower those hands, 1, take that block and bring it to the left side of your body and step your right leg back. Pressing between the block, right elbow this time on the outside of that left leg. Every inhale lengthens your spine, every exhale twists a little bit further. And then of course, for a little bit more, bring up that back leg. Moving all that weight into your left leg. Bring it up to crescent. Lose your balance, we put a smile on our face, we get right back in. I'm bringing my hands a little bit wider on the block to make space for my shoulders. I'm holding that crescent, and then we drive that knee. Slow it first, finding the balance, finding the control, and really triggering that core. And then from here, keep the pace or pick it up. And it's a strong knee drive. A little more cardio, a little more force. Just for 3, 2, and 1. Open it up, warrior 2 legs, and pressing through the center. Trying not to grip with your fingertips, really just using the power of your palms. Can you get a little bit deeper into that front knee? You got this. And then take that block in your right hand, set it down for your revolved triangle. I always need to adjust, move my left foot out a little bit, pulling my left hip back, right hip forward. And then when that lower body is set, I add the top arm. For a nice, strong, straight line from my left hand all the way to my right. And then we'll shift our gaze towards the earth, going into that revolved half moon. Your hand is out in front and a little to the side to find that balance. Now back leg can be down, it can be a toe tap if you're really struggling with it, or just a tiny bit off the earth, or it might be all the way up, way higher than mine, and that works too. Plant that left hand down, remove the prop, take it through your vinyasa, or not, or just meet us back in downward facing dog. Big inhale through your nose, exhale out your mouth, and then come down to your knees, all the way down to your belly for our belly down work. So bring your prop with you. You're gonna, once again, squeeze those palms together. And this first series is just gonna be a lift and lower. So glue those big toes to touch. If they don't touch, get them as close as they possibly can. And it's a lift and lower. Lift and lower. Notice my gaze is towards the earth. The top of my spine is long. And my big toes are pretty close. They're not quite touching at the top, but they're trying to. I encourage yours to do the same. Just for 3, 2, and 1. Relax it. Remove that block, turn one ear to the side, maybe a little windshield wiper of those feet. And And then for this last belly down posture, we won't use the block. We're gonna go into bow. So bend your legs, reach your hands back for the tops of your feet. Find a little quad stretch here. So pull those heels towards your glutes, tuck your tailbone under. And then on your inhale, you're gonna press into your hands. So inhale and come for our belly down bow. Now you can add a rock, forward and back. You can find stillness. This one, if it feels comfortable in your neck to look up, you can. I like the gaze straight out in front, not to aggravate the back of my neck. And just press and kick for 3, 2, and 1. Relax it. Other ear turns towards the side. Shimmy out those legs. Press it up through all fours, and we'll come around to sit. Bringing your block with you. So this first one, you're gonna once again press on the widest side of the block. For this to start, press your heels down. Sits bones are meeting the earth. Move out the flesh if you need to. And then tilt back, your back is straight, and we twist. So almost like you're holding a big beach ball, but you're pressing into this prop. Exhale as you twist. Inhale to the center. Now if you'd like to add on, you can add the leg. Maybe it's alternating. Maybe both legs stay up. So you're in a boat and you're twisting this boat pose. Maybe your legs go straight. Knowing wherever you are, it's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lay it all the way back. Rest your head, send those feet up, heels higher than your heart. Legs don't have to be straight, but they certainly can be. Reach your block up towards the top, straight up, once again, pressing through the block to hold it, not gripping it with your fingertips, and upper body lifts. Now your knees are bent, that's okay. Lift, you're still pressing that block straight up. So if your toes aren't there, that's okay. You're not pressing towards your toes. If they are there, you're pressing it up, trying to hit your toes. I'm somewhere in the middle today. My legs are semi-bent, my block's still pressing up, gaze is up. Don't rest down in between. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, you need a little modification, rest in between every one. If not, it can be a pulse. Just for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax it. We're gonna go into bridge pose. If you'd like to use your block, it might feel good just to do a little bit more of a restorative bridge underneath your hips. I'm not gonna go there today. I'm gonna do an active bridge. I'm gonna make sure I can graze my fingertips on my heels. Then I'm gonna press up. Maybe interlace your hands underneath, turn those shoulders underneath to get a little more height. And then like your chest is chasing your chin and your chin is not letting it get it, move your chin away from your chest. Inhales and exhales should be so big you can see your belly moving up and down in this bridge posture. Can you lift a little bit higher for final expression for 3, 2, and wiggle it down for 1, making sure those props are out of your way, pulling your knees into your chest, rocking side to side, then finding a happy baby. Spine is long in your space, tailbone towards and all the way up towards your head. You can grab for big toes, you can grab for outside of your feet. If you're not there, grab your calves. Still strong flex through your feet like you're stomping a footprint on your ceiling or on the sky. Making your spine as long as you can. And then if it feels good, find a little rock. Back and forth. Maybe you bend one, you straighten one, little bow and arrow. And then you're into stillness. Release and find a spinal twist. So legs will go to the right. I'm gonna cross mine over today for a little bit of a bigger stretch. Left shoulder stays on the earth. My gaze goes towards my left. I'm gonna have my left hand today guide my right ear. very gently for an additional neck stretch. The key word, gently here. And then bring it up towards the center and over to the other side. And try the same variation. My right leg's gonna cross over my left. A little bit of deeper stretch than just dropping them to the side. My gaze will go towards the right, and then this time my right hand will guide my left ear over. Release back through center, squeeze both legs in. Maybe forehead even comes up to touch your knees or towards your knees to a teeny tiny little ball. A restrictive inhale. Exhale, send everything long down into your space and find a very short Shavasana. Try not to skip this part. I know it's tempting, but soak it all in just for a moment. Letting go of the breath control. Maybe shake your head one side to the next just to find that happy medium where you can pause. You've arrived. And to bring some movement back to your fingers, your toes, your ankles, and roll onto your favorite side, pausing just for a moment before pressing up to a comfortable seat. And then as we press up, if it feels safe to you, keep your eyes closed. Finding yourself tall and strong, grounded into the earth. Bring your hands to heart center. And then your thumbs in between your eyebrows. And we all bow and say, Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me in that workout of the week today. Hopefully you felt some opening through your shoulders and some expansion here, and then feeling some strength between your shoulder blades. This is great for those of us who sit at a desk all day to really open everything up and make the back part of your body actually work. Go have a great week, and I'll see you soon.